For the very first time since 1994, we now have a genuine political heavyweight in South Africa that actually openly rejected the Mandela dream of a rainbow nation since the 1980s. The same dream so many fell for, and that led to the mess that we are currently in ultimately. The new US ambassador in South Africa, Brent Bozell III, is clearly making the ANC extremely nervous, with the party now even reverting to superstitious sacrificing rituals just to try and save the party from complete collapse. But why exactly do they fear this individual so much? And how can this political standoff between him and the ANC reshape South Africa's future? Stay tuned, because in today's video I will point out just how politically significant Bozell's presence in South Africa truly is, as well as the events that transpired over the last few days and the way that they are handling him. Earlier this week, the ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula described the US ambassador to South Africa and the head of the US Embassy in Pretoria as an unrepentant racist and pathological hater of black liberation. As he made this claim, he attached a letter that Bozell himself authored on 28 January 1987 and which was addressed to Howard Phillips, who at the time served as the head of the Conservative Caucus, an organization dedicated within the Republican Party to promoting Christian nationalist ideals in America. In the letter, Bozell noted that the National Conservative Political Action Committee, of which Bozell was the president at the time, was proud to become a member of the Coalition Against ANC Terrorism, and condemned the meeting between US authorities and Oliver Tambo, who served as ANC president at that time. But this isn't the only reason the ANC hates Bozell and his presence in South Africa. Let's look at why Bozell is actually the first genuine conservative or even anti-liberal political heavyweight in South Africa in over 3 decades. Brent Bozell is widely known as a conservative writer and activist, as well as the founder of the Media Research Center, an organization dedicated to exposing what it regards as the liberal bias in the media. In March of last year, Donald Trump surprised so many observers by nominating him as the new US ambassador to South Africa. The nomination came amid a backdrop of escalating tensions and US criticism of South Africa's land reform policies, its perceived alignment with non-Western powers such as Iran and Russia, and disagreements relating to the ongoing conflicts in Gaza and Ukraine, and also probably the most important issue on Trump's mind, the ongoing epidemic of racial violence and particularly farm murders in South Africa. It was also very notable that Bozell was nominated by Trump shortly after the United States expelled South Africa's ambassador in Washington at the time, Ebrahim Rasool. Bozell's nomination marked a departure from typical diplomatic practice in the United States. Unlike most ambassadors, who are career diplomats, who are there to basically improve relations, he comes from the world of conservative activism rather than the professional foreign service establishment. Bozell was born in 1954 in the US capital of Washington, D.C., into a prominent conservative Roman Catholic family. His father, Brent Bozell II, was a well-known conservative writer who collaborated with the champion of US conservatism, William F. Buckley Jr., on their influential book that was written in 1954, McCarthy and His Enemies. In the book, Bozell and Buckley defend the campaign of US Senator Joseph McCarthy to eradicate communism in the United States and around. Bozell grew up in circles where politics, religion, and conservative intellectual debate were constant features of everyday life. Educated at the University of Dallas, a Catholic liberal arts institution, he remained closely tied to the Catholic intellectual tradition that shaped his upbringing. Bozell's entry into politics followed naturally from his background. In the late 70s and early 80s, he became involved in conservative advocacy and media activism in Washington, eventually emerging as a leading figure in the American conservative movement and later founding the Media Research Center in 1987. The Media Research Center, of which he was head for almost 40 years now, serves as a watchdog organization whose mission is to identify, document, and counter liberal or neo-Marxist biases in mainstream media reporting. Today, it has grown into one of the most prominent conservative media criticism organizations. It helps expose ideological bias in major news outlets in the US and thereby helping create the necessary conditions for a free press. Today, the organization is being led by David Bosel, Brent Bosel's son. And in light of all of this, it is extremely significant that Trump appointed the now 70-year-old Bosel as ambassador to South Africa. You see, since 1994, the South African political landscape has been dominated by those who venerate and uphold the ideas of Nelson Mandela. Even the most conservative politicians in the South African parliament have traditionally upheld a pro-Mandela stance and has praised his nation-building project here in South Africa as something to be commended. With the arrival of Bosel, however, that completely changes. Bosel did not simply criticize the ANC before it gained political power in the 80s. Bosel was one of the very few political figures on the international stage who in December 2013, when Nelson Mandela passed away, emphatically rejected the mainstream media's praises that were almost universally sung throughout the whole world and all over the political spectrum from far left to far right at the time. Indeed, by turning against the tide and characterizing the mainstream media narrative on Mandela as a form of mythologizing, he condemned the entire mainstream narrative of Mandela being this liberation hero and icon, and indeed reaffirmed his stance expressed all the way back 40 years ago when he condemned Mandela's ANC as a terrorist organization. Now, Cyril Ramaphosa's Minister of International Relations, Ronald Lamola, has formally summoned Bosel to explain himself for daring to criticize the ANC's black economic empowerment. Furthermore, Lamola also noted that the government would closely monitor his conduct and threatened actions against him if he dared to criticize the South African government again. Lamola resembles the behavior historically associated with communist regimes, where foreign diplomats are tolerated only as long as they refrain from criticizing the ruling ideology. In normal diplomatic practice, ambassadors frequently express the views of their governments on policy disputes with the countries they are in. But in authoritarian and mostly communist regimes, criticism of the ruling party is often treated not as diplomacy, but as political hostility. A well-known example occurred in Cuba in the early 2000s, involving an American diplomat, James Casson, who represented the US in Havana from 2002 to 2005. Casson openly met with Cuban dissidents and publicly criticized the government of Fidel Castro. The Cuban government consequently accused him of trying to destabilize the regime, with state media denouncing him as a provocateur. Tensions escalated during the Black Spring when Cuban authorities arrested 75 dissidents, some of whom had interacted with the US diplomatic missions. Bosel's criticism of the government's policies has landed him in trouble with the South African government, following even his very first public address on South African soil. In the months and years going forward, we can look therefore to a truly revolutionary something that is happening in South Africa. How the ANC and the political elites in this country react to a principled criticism that is not only directed at their practice, but at the very heart of their ideology. Because this is something they have actually never tolerated on home soil before. They might tolerate criticism of their competence or criticism of their bills or their corruption, but never ever before had they had to deal with ideological dissidents such as Bosel, who not only criticized their policies and their corruption, but their entire worldview. Is it any wonder then that senior ANC members are now even reverting to superstitious sacrificing rituals in order to try and just slow down the party's continuing demise? Well, in a recent video, we did a full analysis of how Bosel's historic opposition towards the ANC shaped his worldview on South Africa and what might be his views when he takes office as ambassador here. We were right so far. Check out this full video by clicking on the link appearing on your screen right now. And do remember to consider supporting our work by becoming a paid member of the Willem Petzer Group. Only with our members' investments are we able to make videos such as these every single day. Simply follow the easy steps on the banner underneath me. Goodbye, and God bless every one of you.